Hello, hello, hello everybody. Can you hear me? uh, Hello everybody. We have a live stream here from the base of the Beetlejuice house, which is still on my desk. Okay, so you can hear me. Awesome. Welcome in. Welcome to your first live stream, Della. It has been a while, so it might be several people's first live stream. Sorry, I jump scared you. Works well? Okay, awesome. I realized the last time I have done a live stream on the channel was in October. I do them monthly with my Patreon members and my YouTube members, but I haven't done one on the main channel in a while. The reason for that is I just always have a kid at home with me. We've been doing homeschool for the past, I guess we started last year and we started up this year. And it just has made things a little bit more complicated. I can't just, my time is, I'm no longer at home by myself. So it's been a while since I felt like I could just jump on a live stream. So very happy to be here. Hello everyone. Welcome in. We are going to be working on sandworms today. Happy Beetlegust, by the way. It's mid-August already. And I've only put out one video, which was the planning video where I painted the Saturn backdrop. And I was planning to just have a whole bunch of stuff done by this point. But the start of school was very complicated and some other things going on. And yeah, so I was like, you know what? Instead of stressing out about trying to get a video out, let's do a live stream. It's always fun to do a Beetlegust live stream, and then you can, root me on as far as like getting these sandworms painted because they're going to be very detailed. What kind of clay are you using? These are actually 3D printed. These were put into the computer and designed by Elise Little Things. This is my original sandworm that I created for the gel cell. I have a hard time saying those words together. The gel cell that is in the hallway. And this was made with paper clay. And so Elise, I have a scan of this worm, and I sent the scan over to Elise. She took it and had to clean it up and had to rebuild some of the parts, and she also put her own artistic flair on the sandworms, which I'm happy she did because she's got her own 3D artistry. I've linked her channel down below if you're interested in 3D design. Her channel is a great one to see what she's doing. But she created these sandworms for my project because if I had to sculpt all of these, that would be the end of Beetlegust. I don't have the patience. Yes, welcome to all the first-time viewers. Welcome to everyone who's back again. Thank you for coming back to a live stream after it has been so long. I just bought the Allison Jr. dollhouse kit because of you. That dollhouse kit will always have a special place in my heart because that is the base of the Addams Family house. I think it's the base of a few Addams Family houses, by the way. So it's just very Addamsy. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and get a coat of paint on these sandworms that's similar to this one. It doesn't have to be exact. You will be able, like the hallway is right next door to the Saturn scene, but then there's a bunch of electronic stuff and wires and all that kind of stuff in between. So it's not like these two will be like facing each other, so people won't be like, hey, those two aren't exactly the same. But we're going to try and get a similar paint job onto these worms to match this one. Hello, everyone. All right. And I am trying to use some better paints because I have all of these really nice paints, but then I put them aside and I'm like, I'm not going to use those. I'm going to wait for something special. And then I just don't use them. Like, things are very, like, everything's special. So let's just use them. Yesterday was my birthday, so I consider this video part of my continued birthday since yesterday did not go according to plan. Well, happy birthday again today. I hope it is a much better day. All right, so I think what I'm going to start to do is work on the faces, and I do have a fan set up right here, and we are a little bit on an angle because the Beetlejuice base is on my desk. And I'm trying, the way I'm sitting is weird because I'm trying not to put my knee through the waiting room, which is right here. It's a little bit complicated. Let's see. I do have a problem with saving materials as well. I always keep something for later and later. Yep, exactly. And that's why I'm like, I gotta use these. I don't want these. They're good paints, and paints do go bad after a while. So they need to be used. I'm the same way. I hoard my good paints and materials and suffer by using suboptimal crap. I do want to do a painting video at some point, and Queen City Minis gave me some good suggestions for other paints to buy besides my apple barrel that's just very chalky. And it's great. It's great for like covering a surface, but doing like detail painting like this, I really want to start upgrading my paint collection. I will always love my craft paints, and if that's what you got, use them for sure. But I want to start just like colors that I use really often or on really detailed things. I want to just like here and there buy some like more upgraded craft paints. There we go, if I can talk. Hello, everyone. It's Sayra time. Hope all are well. Yeah, we're doing really well. Getting school started, getting everyone where they need to go, all the new things that we had to sign up for, sign-ins, sign-ups. I don't know. Just a lot of sign-in things. Everything has a password now. So not only do you have to think of a password, you have to know where to keep the password, and then when the time comes to use the password, you have to remember where you put it. I'm overwhelmed by passwords at this point. I don't want to make any more passwords. Like brown? Yes, exactly. Ads are turned on? Yes. So the ads are turned on. Let me know if the microphone keeps looking like it's peaking on mine, so let me know if it's too loud and I'll turn it down. But the ads are turned on, and the reason I did that is because I can set it at the longest interval in between ads. If I don't turn it on, YouTube, it's a possibility that YouTube will start playing them like every 2 minutes. So I have them turned on, not by choice. But if it plays more than 30 minutes in between, like if you've watched the live stream all the way through and then all of a sudden you're just getting like an ad like every 5 minutes, then please let me know and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but try to fix it. It's very, very complicated. They changed the whole ad thing around to where it's like, oh, you don't want ad revenue on this video? Okay, well, we do. So let's see. Pleasant surprise for the afternoon. I'm working on multiple dioramas right now. It was great to have your notification pop up. Oh, great. I really would love to do, I'm trying to move my already painted sandworm over. I'm gonna try and do the inside out of the head first. So I'm starting with the gums, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm starting with the gums, and I'm gonna paint those a little messy, and and then I will kind of work my way out from inside out. And if you do have questions and I miss your question, Rachel, who helps moderate, will help me see your question. And if it's still missed, then you can add it in there again. But we'll try our best to get questions answered. Did you prime the worms? I don't typically prime my 3D printed pieces. And whatever this, I don't know what kind of filament we use. Mr. Technology orders all the filament. Whatever filament we use, I can just paint straight on top of it and I don't ever prime it. I do usually do kind of a thin, messy coat first. And then I get a little bit more detailed on my coats of paint after that. So I don't prime my 3D printed things, and I've never had an issue with it with the filament that we use. Let's see. Oops. Last weekend I finally made my first miniature sofa, pillow, drinks tray, glasses, and decanter. That's awesome. Well, thank you for watching for so long. I can highly recommend Tim Holtz Distress Paints. I never use paints on my polymer clay, but I love using these. They're matte and go a long way even with a little bottle. That's what these are. One of the reasons I think I don't use, I'm using these little Army Painter War Paints. And these were in a little craft box that was done by Jazza, who is an art YouTuber here on YouTube. And they're just so small that I'm like, if I use those, I'm going to run out. However, I have been using them more and more lately. I use them on the quarter scale boathouse furniture that was designed by Sabaku Noshi, who is here in the chat. And they're quarter scale, so they're so small. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use those little bitty Army War Painter paints. And they worked so well. And I'm like, why am I not using these? And I find because the bottles are so small, I end up pouring out less. Like with these big ones, I pour out so much paint and so much paint gets wasted. But I feel like with I don't know if it's like a psychological thing, but with the smaller paint bottles, I feel like I pour less and I waste less paint. So, Army Painter by Games Workshop. Okay. Got it. I'm not familiar with too many paint companies, but I want to get better at it. I want to do kind of like I did my glue video. I want to do a paint video where I review. So this is my first messy coat here. So I'm going to do this on all my worms. All the worms get their gums painted in a messy coat. What was I saying? I want to do a video kind of like my my glue video where I just try out a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different types of paint, and really get an idea of what I like, what works best. I will get a more detailed brush and do a better job on the second coat. Let's see. I think I have a future suggestion for the study. I think it would be hilarious to print the Beetlejuice bust that gave Charles a heart attack. I do think that would be fun. I do want to put that in there. Hi everyone. Yes, I did. So my patrons and I and YouTube members have kind of been working through like the layout of the sandworms even before they were painted. And I had this piece that printed incorrectly. And these are all filament printed. And so this was the start of another worm. And so to make this one even taller, I used epoxy sculpt and some glue, super glue, and I extended this one. So this is my super long worm. Otherwise, they're all about the same height. And so now I have one super tall worm that's going to be very intimidating sticking out of the sand. So. Heard they're great. Sadly, haven't had a chance to try them. The Army Painters. The Army Painter set. Yeah, I have the Vallejo as well. Let's see. I pulled some of those. These are my airbrush Vallejo paints, but they're very pigmented as well. So I think you can just paint with those. I don't know if it's cheaper to just buy Vallejo. My goodness. I'm trying to say all these words that my brain doesn't really know how to say. Vallejo. Paints that aren't for airbrush. I don't know if there's a huge price difference, but I was given some of these by Mike, who is an airbrush teacher and likes to change out his paints. So he gave me some of the paints that he wasn't going to use anymore. So I really appreciate that, Mike. And so I'm excited to try those out. All right. This is going to be a slow process. I'm just letting you know. I'm not a fast painter. It's going to be a slow process, and I can also zoom in. Let me see. You don't need to see my whole table at the moment. So we're just hanging out today, very chill. You're helping me get started on a tedious project that needs to get done to further the Beetlegust scene for this year. So I appreciate you hanging out with me while I do this, because otherwise I would be going I do enjoy painting when I feel like it. Anybody else? And it's not that I don't feel like painting, it's just knowing that they're so detailed, and there's so many, well, there's three I'm painting. They're so detailed, so many, that it's just intimidating my brain, I think. Been a subscriber for 5 years and a patron for 4 years, and this is the first time I've ever gotten ads during a live stream. Got 3 since we started. Won't deter. So, you already had 3? Are y'all getting... Here. Let me see. I'm just going to try and turn it off, and y'all can let me know. I don't know if I can turn it off midstream, but we're going to try it. Because I don't want you getting ads just non-stop. That's very annoying. And it's not what should be happening. Can I edit you while I'm streaming? Let's see. Let's try. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Everyone cross your fingers for me. See, it says it should be every 30 seconds. We're going to turn it off. Now, if you start getting more ads, let me know. Because that should... While that shouldn't be happening, I'm afraid it could. So we'll try it. Okay, there we go. Might be worth adding if you're on the website or app. Let's see. Okay, let me know how it goes, and we'll see. Can you talk about how you came up with the 3D model for the worms? Elise, Little Things. I worked with her previously on a collaboration. She did the toilet and the sink, and she made some special items just for the Beetlejuice house for the bathroom that's on the 2nd floor. And so when I knew I was going to have to make a room full of sandworms, I was like, Elise, please help me. And she is incredibly busy. She has multiple projects going on, and she was so kind. She even had one other project that she was hoping that she could create kind of on her own time, but she just got way too busy. But I just appreciate so much the fact that she helped me get these sandworms done. And so all of Beetlegust is happening because of her generosity of time. Are you going to sell prints of the sandworms? I don't think that's legal. I don't know, but if anyone would be selling prints, it would be Elise, because she put a lot of the work into cleaning up the sculpture and everything. But I don't really know as far as like, because sandworms are, you know, the intellectual property of Beetlejuice, so I don't think they can be sold legally with correct copyright and everything. I normally don't mind ads when it's channel I really support. Sometimes I watch them though because they can help the creators earn. Yes, they do help. However, I don't think they help. I think it'll be fine. I can just turn them on after the live stream is done. And after the live stream is done, I can actually control where they are in the video. I just can't control it while the live stream is happening. So, and I'm afraid if I don't put them on, that YouTube is gonna, because if I don't go in and manually put ads on my videos when I upload them, because I put 2 per video on average, depending on the length. And if I don't go in and manually put them in there, YouTube puts an ad like every 2 minutes. And it is a lot. It is a lot. Hold on, I gotta check my phone. Make sure it's not child or someone needing my attention. Okay. All right, we're almost done with the base coat on the gums. The very, very messy base coat. It's gonna start looking like a mess, and you're gonna have to remind me to get back on screen. Hi everybody who's just coming in. We are painting the mini sandworms. I think I'm gonna have 2 main sandworms in the scene, and then there's gonna be kind of one, I think it's this one. This is supposed to say cut, but I had to scratch. I messed up the U. So this one says cut because I'm going to cut it down so it looks like it's just the head underneath the sand. So this one I'm not going to paint the body all the way down. I'm just going to paint the head, and then so there'll be 2 like main sandworms that you can see standing up in the sand. The sandworm's teeth are like eating this brush. I don't know if you can see. It's really messing this brush up. But then the other ones are going to be like, there's going to be 2 main ones and then 1 in the sand. All right, let's see where we think. I might try a different, smaller brush. I need a smaller brush to get into more of the details. So we're going to do the second coat on the gums. And then look at my sample. So here's the hard part, is like figuring out what order do I paint all of this, because everything gets really, really close together with the head within a head. So I did the gums first, and then I think I need to paint the white of the inner head, and then I can do the lips and the teeth. I think that's my plan. Let's see. Do you get credit for those of us who have premium? I think, yeah, there's like a different rate if you have premium where you don't get ads. Like, I think so. Yeah. YouTube has been crazy with ads lately. I have only had a few at the start of the live and 1 since it started. Okay, there shouldn't be any more now, hopefully. Hopefully, they should be behaving now. Okay, I'm gonna get my second coat of barbarian flesh color onto the sandworm gums. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna miss quite a few comments here, but I'm trying to concentrate and get every single area, because if I do not, I always seem to come back after painting something and there's like a glaringly obvious place that I missed, but everything else is already painted. I get so frustrated. I'm like, why didn't you just take the time to look from every direction and really, like, I don't know. I try to speed through things sometimes and then that comes back to bite me. So I've started doing this where I stop and I'm gonna look for every direction. From the front, the side, underneath, turn it upside down. Okay, I think I got the outside gums. Now we'll go inside the inside mouth. See, it's such a weird thing to describe. I gotta paint the inside of the inside mouth. I need a tiny pair for earrings. Well, actually, we test printed. So I have this size, and they're too small for the thing, so I think they'd be a little big for your earrings. But they're lightweight, so is the sound still okay? It keeps seeming like it's peaking or getting too loud. Alright, so now I'm going to do the inside of the inside mouth. Very slowly. Make sure I get all the areas so I don't have to paint this part again. And then the tongue, I didn't have a tongue on my original one. So that'll be a new adventure in painting. See, I missed the whole behind this whole area behind this teeth. This whole area behind these teeth. Sounds good, sounds good. Okay, sound is good. All right, then I will ignore the thing that's telling me that's too loud. I ended up getting premium because I monitor their chat on my phone during streams, and getting interrupted during my own stream by a noxious political ad was ridiculous. Yep. They could bite the ear with their teeth. In theory, you can make a closing like this. Yeah, they're interesting creatures. And I was thinking about this. I was like, they're actually, in both movies, kind of the hero. Kind of like in Jurassic Park, where at the end, the hero is the T-Rex because he takes out the Velociraptor. They're kind of like that. They're like the anti-hero. Anti-hero? Is that correct? English majors, let me know if I'm using anti-hero correct. Hello everyone who's just coming in. We're doing a lot of tedious painting as a group. Is anyone else doing some tedious painting or tedious crafting right now? Or just actual, like, crafting that you're enjoying? Doesn't have to be tedious. And I am enjoying this. I know it's going to take a while. So I'm happy to do a live stream. Our Beetlegust live stream. And I'm hoping to get get back into streaming more. There we go. They're jailworms, guardians of the galaxy from Ghosts. One earring sandworm hoop biting its own tail, dangling. Oh, okay. I got what you were talking. I just got what you were talking about earlier, where you were saying having the sandworm bite the ear. I just got it. That would be funny. Luckily, they're filament, so they're very lightweight, so I don't think it would hurt. All right, we're getting close to being done with this second coat of the inside of their mouth. I think I have to do this one still. Yep. All right. I'm having breakfast, but then I'm going to do some diamond painting. Ooh, I've printed 6mm vases, making a 1/44 Victorian toilet, sink, and tub. That's very tiny. Tedious yard work. That is tedious. I'm actually a quilter. I'm in fact quilting right now. Awesome. Did some tedious coloring. Making 1/12 coat hangers while watching. That could be considered tedious if you're making a lot. Currently cross-stitching an autumn fairy. Working on Rococo stairs while I watch you. I'm working on a Lego Beetlejuice display of the graveyard. That sounds awesome. I would love to see that. Oh, I was watching something recently someone sent to me. Was it you, Rachel? No, I don't think it was that. It was Matthew Hackley. Sent me a video, and it was the set designer of the Addams Family. And he was talking about the graveyard of the Addams Family on Addams Family Values, the second movie. And they used gravestones from Beetlejuice in Addams Family Values. Worlds colliding. I was like, that's so cool. Sorry, I missed what some people are doing. Do you know? Oops. Do you know when you'll share your thoughts on Beetlejuice 2? I was going to make a whole video. I don't know how many people would be interested in like a whole video of my opinion. But I think it's been out long enough that it's not going to really ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. Like, I think there's been plenty of time for people to watch now. So I could possibly just tell you my opinion now. Let's see. I'm doing nothing. Hey, that sounds really nice. Currently working on a 1/24 scale room box. Didn't realize it was so small. It goes down, the scales go down real small really quickly after 1/12 scale. There's an in-between scale. It's like Lundby Petite Princess scale. I think it's like 1/18 scale or 1/16 scale. I can't remember if it's 18th or 16th. But yeah, half scale does feel very small compared to 1/12 scale. 1/12 scale. There we go. Let's see. It would be cute to have a small Addams Family house in the garage workshop. Someone did make me an Addams Family house for the little Beetlejuice models. So I have one to go in the Beetlejuice house. I'm very excited about it. Yes, we can see you, Jamie Louise. Okay, now we're going to do okay, I already have some white. That's good. Let me see which one is the most dry. I'll start working on the interior head, painting it white. Okay, I'm gonna put these on the fan really quick. I won't keep the fan on the whole time, but if I start putting wet paint into wet paint, it's just gonna become a mess really quickly. I'll just tell you a quick summary while we're waiting for some heads to dry. I'll tell you a quick, just curious as to what type of sand Air we'll use. I am using, I have some art sand. So it's very, very fine art sand. It's the type of stuff you put in like a, like those art where you layer the colors and everything like that. But I'm going to mix it with some regular sand so it has a little bit more texture, because this honestly almost looks like sugar. So I want to have it have a little bit more texture. So I'm going to mix it with real sand. I guess this is real sand, but you know what I'm talking about. Like sand that has different size granules in it. So it's yellowy, but also is a little bit more rough. So, okay, so here is my very quick summary of my feelings over Beetlejuice. So, overall, I liked that they tried to do a lot of the same things. They used some claymation stop motion. They did some of the same, like where there were like some dancing to music. I like that they kept it along the same vibe. I do feel like it was a bit more gross than the first one. It was a lot more gross. I did not like the Beetlejuice baby. I'm just going to put it out there. Didn't like him. Don't want to look at him. Not interested in Beetlejuice baby. I liked Dolores. I liked the character of Dolores. I liked what that storyline could have been. I just didn't think there was room for her storyline in the movie. I think I won't ruin it, but the storyline of the boy in the treehouse was much more interesting to me as far as like continuing the storyline of Lydia and her daughter and all of that kind of stuff. I felt like they could have like focused on that more and maybe saved Dolores for like a third movie or something, and more focused on that storyline. So there just wasn't enough room for all of the stuff in the movie, and it felt very rushed to me, and not everything was like fully, laid out. So the other thing I didn't like was that the Maitlands were just kind of pushed to the side, whereas like in the first movie they were like, the whole idea was that Barbara and Adam didn't have children. They refer to it at the beginning of the movie. Lydia comes along and they almost kind of adopt Lydia and make her, kind of become her parents, and they kind of live together as a family. And in the second movie, like, Lydia's just kind of like this scared person, and it's like, it almost feels like the Maitlands had no impact on her life. So I didn't like that part. Okay. If y'all can put in the chat that I'm done with my Beetlejuice wrap up. Oh, I will say, I did like Delia. I thought Delia was on point. She was perfectly Delia, and I loved everything she did in the movie. So I will say that. So that's my opinion. Okay. All right, let's see if we have someone who's dried out enough. Okay, I think I can start working on this one. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan off because it's a little bit loud. And my zipper's kind of pulling on here, so I'm sorry if that's an annoying noise. Okay, let me make sure no one's panicking and needs my attention. Okay, we're good. I haven't started watching the, thank you, Rachel. I haven't started watching the second season of Wednesday yet. All I have heard so far, okay, I'll try and actually paint on screen. All I've heard so far is that it's more violent. But that's all I know. I'm waiting till all of the season is out. So right now I'm just trying to very carefully paint. I'm not really worrying about if I get paint on the teeth, but I'm trying to very carefully paint this inner head white. And I don't want to leave any of the 3D printed plastic showing. I want to make sure that I get it all covered with white paint. I'm going to try my best. Oh, I did like Bob. Bob will make an appearance in my project. You can only hear a tiny bit of the fan. It's not a problem. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I kind of put it behind the microphone, so hopefully you wouldn't hear it too much. I think part of this head is just going to have to stay like the very top of the head. I don't think I can get to that without getting paint on the roof of the mouth, but I really don't think anyone's going to be looking that closely. Will they be looking that closely? You'll have to let me know. I sometimes wonder if instead of doing direct sequels, it would be better to just explore and expand the world and other new characters. Possibly. I think they tried to do that a little bit here in the second one. I won't discuss it too much because I know people don't want spoilers, but I don't know. It's got to be hard to do it after so many years, and it being such a cult classic. It's really hard. You're never going to make everyone happy, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll get this. It's just going to have to have some paint on the top of his head. I got a headache. I hope you feel better. All right. I'm gonna get this all painted, and then I think I'm gonna do this on each worm just to get this. I think that's one of the nice things about doing several at the same time is I can just do the same process over and over again until it's done, and then move on to the next step. And I'm off screen again. What I need to get a buzzer that allows you to buzz me when I go off screen, because I don't hear any sound. And the audience, the viewers, can just hit a little thing that goes meh off screen. And then I can get myself back on screen. And I don't know if we'll get any of the sandworms fully painted, but that went pretty well. Still have our barbarian gums, and we've got an interior head. So let's see. Yeah, I think doing like a whole netherworld story would be really fun. I would miss the house though. Like, I heard a rumor, this didn't come true, but I heard a rumor that when they were originally planning the second Beetlejuice movie, they were gonna blow up the house, like in the very first scene, like so that there was like a reason that they didn't have to like make the whole interior and everything. And I was so sad. Like, I was so sad because obviously I've spent a lot of time staring at this house. And it's such a cool house, and for me it almost feels like a character in the show, in the movie, with how much it changes. Like, it shows the passage of time, and it shows the changing of the people who are in the home, and the changing of, you know, lifestyles and things like that. So I was really sad about that, but it did not end up blowing it up. Just a small electric shock. I don't know if we need to do that. Although it might keep me on screen a little bit better. I might still be using a paintbrush that's still a little bit too big, but we're going with the flow. It seems to be working, so we're going with the flow. I'll be going as well. It's late here and lots to do. It was great to chat with you. Bye, She. Have a good night's sleep. Twitch has a lot of stuff integrated. Yeah, I've watched a few Twitch streams, but I don't know much about streaming on Twitch. I do not know. Never done it. This is actually working better than I thought. I thought this was going to be like the worst part, but it's going okay. Painting things whilst watching you paint many things helps my productivity. Yay! That's awesome. That's what I was hoping. I was like, maybe we can all work on something together and we can all get a little mini push. Although if you're resting, rest up, man. Resting is good. If you need a rest, rest. But if you need to get to going on a project, you can feel free to join in. Grab whatever you've been like needing to work on and join us. I didn't know if Elise would be able to make it today since she's the one who worked on the worms, but I know she's in a different part of the world from me, so. The house is definitely a character. The black cloth, it was in mourning. Yes. I'm thinking I might need to, like, maybe for like the grand reveal of when it's actually finished, getting a black cloth to put over it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. I did find the shroud of the house in the second movie pretty cool. It was very, very cool. Very Delia. My daughter did Twitch streaming, and she has a whole setup, but it's to stream games. I think it would be really fun to stream games. Although I understand that, like, with anything, I'm sure after a while it does become more of a job than like, oh, I'm just gonna sit down and play a game. Okay, I think I got this one pretty good. You're looking okay. Look at it from the other direction. Maybe back here a little bit. I like playing games, but it is very much a like break for my brain where I just sit down and I can concentrate on the game. I don't have to think about filming it and I can't imagine that talking while playing a game is very easy. I don't think I'd be able to do that. That would be very difficult. Talking and actually, like, I can't even make words right now. Let's see. Oh, they did have the Maitlands in the second movie? Oh, was it the car in the 3D model? Barbecuing? Oh, I missed that one. Have to go as I'm supposed to be working. Have a good work day. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Okay. Let's get back to getting this head painted. I'm wondering if I need to do the teeth last. I don't know. You know, another video I need to make. I need to make like a whole earring making video because I can make some Beetlejuice worm earrings. I can make some Beetlejuice house earrings because of the house pieces that I showed you in my Dallas vlog. And I like, there's so many things that I have that I want to turn into earrings. I just don't have the time. So I need to make it a video where I just sit down and make a bunch of weird earrings out of miniature things. I think that would be fun. Off screen. Started my morning by slipping on liquefied watermelon. Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay. I'm so sorry. Ouch. Bye everyone who's taken off. Thank you for hanging out for a little bit. We'll probably still go for another 45 minutes to an hour. And just see how far I can get on these little sandworms. They're climbing the hill as tinies from the river. Oh, I'll have to go back and look at that again. Oh, that's a good idea to make it a video around Christmas gifts, making earrings. I like that idea. Queen City Minis, you hate the editing and voiceover? Same. Same. I think we've talked about this before. It's like if I could just make the miniature and the voiceover and editing would take care of itself. Dream, that would be a dream. I would love to be able to pay an editor, but I don't think, like, even if I had the income to pay an editor, I still don't think I could, because like I think of what I'm going to say while I am editing, and if I don't do the editing process, I feel like I'm going in blind, and I have to remember what I created. And many times I take specific video shots to show something, and if the person editing doesn't know that, then that might get skipped and then I forget to say it. It's a whole mess. So I don't even think I could do that if I wanted to. Even if I can't make the buzzer noise, I do love you making your own buzzer noise. Okay, I'll have to do an ear after Beetlegust. Maybe I'll do a whole earring video, because I have a lot to make, and I think that would be fun. And then I could wear them in my videos. It'd be fun. Is there a 3D printer that you can recommend? So I have used a lot of Elegoo printers, both filament and resin, and they've always done really, really well. So I do like Elegoo. I have recently gotten a bamboo filament printer, and that's what these are printed on. These are printed on a bamboo, and it prints incredibly detailed. Takes a while, but it's very, very detailed. So yeah, bamboo seems to be maybe they've been around for a while, but for me it seems like they're kind of the up and coming brand in 3D printers, especially filament. Do they do resin? I don't know. But especially with filament printing, look into bamboo. And I 100% prefer filament over resin, solely because of the cleanup and the fumes and the storing of resin, and you have to use it in a certain amount of time. I mean, filament also, but you can kind of, re-dehydrate your filament and all that kind of stuff. So anyway. Inexpensive, and it's got great software. Is that the which brand is that? Okay. All right, I have all of the heads painted. And what did I say we were going to do next? Lips? I think that's the next thing. I think I want to do the tongue last. I think I got them pretty well. Should we do lips? Time for lips? Okay. What projects is everyone working on during the stream? I think my daughter has done a few diamond paintings, and they always give you so many extra. So you can still do the entire painting and have plenty of the drills left over afterwards. At least in the ones that my daughter has done. Okay, I need something pretty thin here. Abra, that would be a dream. I would also love to pay an editor, but I don't think it would work. I need to edit myself since it dictates my voiceover. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm going with this blue. This is called... What is this called? Azul Claro, or Gold light blue. Gold light blue? Maybe just light blue. It's the one on my original is a bit more like a aqua, I guess. But I want to use something where it's just straight out of the paint. So we'll see how this looks. I'm a picture framer and you're keeping me company in the workshop. Yay! We can all work together. That's why I think it would be fun for me to do more live streams. Just like working on something, even if it is kind of a slow go. This is going to take me a while. Working on these lips and gums. I think it'll be an okay color. And also another reason I want to have it straight out of the bottle is so when I go back and paint their heads, if I need to go back and do touch-ups, I know I don't have to like remix the paint color or anything like that. I'm making a Nadia doll from What We Do in the Shadows. That's really fun. I'm doing my first diamond drill kit right now and getting 2 more today from Amazon and planning all the things to use the leftovers on. I just tend to talk while I'm making things and add voiceover when needed. That's a smart way to do it, Leslie. I think you do get a lot more of a natural voiceover because you do it that way, where you're like actually getting your like in the moment thoughts. I just tend to want to turn on my my videos that I want to watch, and usually I'm watching some kind of someone playing an indie horror video game, and it doesn't really make for good background noise in my miniature videos. So I tend to just put on someone playing a video game while I'm working, and then I just voice it over later. So, but that's a smart way to do it. It's very relaxing hanging out with other crafters. Sewing, awesome. I'm gonna buy my mom the Arteza mat for her paint table. She felt inspired by you to teach herself to paint last year. Oh, that's awesome. What kind of paint does she like using? Like, is she like an oil painter, acrylic? Any plans for a horror-themed project for spooky October? Not as of yet. I'm really just trying to get through Beetlegust. And then, I mean, it's really going to honestly be a very Beetlejuice-focused year because I need to take the project to the museum next year. And that deadline, even though it seemed far away, is sneaking up faster than I expected. Plus I added another miniature show next year. I'm going to be in Chicago at the spring showcase. So yeah, so I really need to focus on Beetlejuice. And then I promise I have not forgotten the other cardboard house that I want to do. I so want to start working on it. But I really need to get Beetlejuice going and finishing it. Let's see. Didn't pay much for it, just a couple dollars on Temu. Oh, for the diamond painting. Does my husband putting together stuff for our new greenhouse count? Poor guy is giving up his model making time. Sure, yeah, I think it counts. All right. I think I'm just going to paint one half of the head at a time and give it some time to dry because I'm afraid if I turn it over, I might accidentally put my hand in the wet paint. So I'm just going to do half at a time. Oh wait, does the smaller one needs, okay. The smaller one has lips too. Hold on. Working on a gift for my daughter in wool applique. Oh, that sounds cool. Speaking of miniature shows, are you willing to share if you're willing to share, I was wondering how you made out at the miniature show. Did you sell out? I sold out on, I think 3 different kits did sell out. One of them was my book kits, thanks to Queen City Minis. I couldn't keep those in stock. They sold out like very quickly because people were like coming and they're like, do you have books? Like I need some books. Shira showed me how to use these. And then the chandelier kit sold out, and my my retro rooms sold out. So those 3 things sold out. It was the best, monetary wise, it was the best year that I had at a miniature show. So I was very happy. I really don't know the numbers off the top of my head, actually. But I was very, very happy with it. Okay, so that's how the little lips are looking. I'm going to put him down and start on another one and let that dry while I'm doing this. If you come with me to Hobby Lobby, plan on an entire day. I get lost in potential projects. Hello from Western New York. Hello. Whitney Labrie made a What We Do in the Shadows room in her. Yes, she did. I think she took a lot of inspiration from the movie, which I have not seen the movie. So I think that would be a fun one to watch at some point. I did not realize there was a movie. I knew there was a TV show, but I did not know there was a movie. All right, this one seems a little bit more awkward to paint for some reason. They are in different poses. They're not all in the same pose. So this one head's just like the way its neck is turned. Like I'm having to turn my hand in a weird direction. Did I miss the wakey? Is someone falling asleep? That's okay. I hear people fall asleep to my videos all the time. That is totally fine. All right. So I think this next video is going to be over the sandworms, and the rocks, getting the sandworms and the rocks all figured out, and then probably gluing them down. I don't think I'm going to do this. No, I don't know if I'm going to glue them down yet because I want to get the room with the door, the floating door and mirrors all figured out before anything is glued down. So I think I'll just be getting the sandworms and the rocks done, but like figuring out where they're going to go and actually marking them in place. So that's my plan for the next video. And you are part of this next video because you're helping me paint. Hello from Brisbane. You're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you. Welcome. You have some very fine brushes. What do you call the brush? You said it earlier. I need to write it down. This is the name of this brush. Just have some detail brushes, but I'll show you the name of this one. This one seems to be working pretty well. This is Royal Langnickel Moderna. It's got a really long, thin tip. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Yay! Welcome, everyone. You have a membership. Thank you, Rachel. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate it. If you are a new member, I post a little update with pictures of what I'm working on every Monday and Thursday. And then we do a live stream during that month. So it's pretty fun. Oh, wakey is one of the funniest parts of What We Do in the Shadows. Gotcha. The floating door is cool. I am so excited about it. I mean, it's going to be kind of pushed back in the scene, so a little bit difficult to see. But I think for those who are like really looking into the scene, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise, and they're going to be like, what's happening? And I like those moments in miniatures where it really takes you a moment to figure out what is actually happening in this scene. Okay, I'm going to get the little tiny details of this lip. We are 30% through painting lips. So, next worm. This one that's like top lip is a little smaller. I'm really only just realizing some of the details that are on these 3D prints now that I'm like painting all the little details on the 3D prints, which makes sense. So another thing I really, really want to do is more on my Addams Family house. I know that I like finished up that house, but I think what would be really fun in the future, after Beetlejuice, after I take a little break from huge projects, sorry, I might have to get a drink of water. I have water somewhere over here. Making, like, now that I've grown as an artist, Beetlejuice really has, I think, grown me as an artist, like finding new materials and new styles and new ways to paint things. Making some new things for the Addams Family house now that I know a few more tricks. And, you know, there's been some more entries into the Addams Family lore. So adding some more stuff to my house, maybe even redoing some things. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I definitely want to add a cello in there for Wednesday because of the show and different things like that. So, if you go back and watch for them, they're only seen during the lightning flashes. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Happy Friday. Thank you, Nancy. Are you planning to use real sand on the base? I am using, it's a mixture of real sand and craft sand. That's the plan, at least. But it's going to be pretty shallow, so it's not going to add a ton of weight. I'm going to do it similarly to the way that I've done snow in the past. So it'll just really be a light dusting of sand. It won't be a huge chunk of sand, hopefully. That's the plan. Let's see. Right now, I'm working on a 1/18 inch entire brick wall for a 4-bedroom dollhouse. You can make a room box for Wednesday and Enid's dorm room. That dorm room is amazing. I would love to know how you made the stairs in the Addams Family house. Are you talking about the main stairs or the ones that kind of go outside of the house? I think I made both sets of stairs before I started my YouTube channel, and those are on a ancient blog. I started at a blog. And I think I talked about it, but then I made a similar set of stairs, the ones that kind of go outside of the house. I made a similar set for my Fairfield project, and you can find that on the Fairfield playlist. I think it's like making removable stairs or something like that. Jerry Q Art have thin excuse me. Jerry Q Art has great thin paintbrushes. Good to know. I just finished watching the first 4 episodes of season 2. It's so good. I'm waiting till all of the episodes are out. I love the cello too. Actually, at my wedding, we had a lone cellist, one of my friends, and a vocalist sing, and it was so pretty. It was so gorgeous. Cello is an amazing instrument. Okay. That's a fun little paint line to paint on the edge of the sandworm. Okay. Now we can go back and do the other side. Now we're 50% of the way through. Oh. You're so patient. Thank you. It is helping me that you are here with me to be patient, because a lot of times when it's just me, I'm like, this is taking forever. So thank you for hanging out with me while we do this. Will you be finishing up the Fairfield? Yes. So the Fairfield is on vacation. And I don't know when the Fairfield will come off of vacation. It will definitely be after Beetlejuice, but I do love the Fairfield project. I love it so much. And I think part of the issue with it is that I am afraid of messing it up. And working in half scale is just very different from 1/12 scale. It's also harder to film because it's so small. So I just kind of get into my own head when it comes to the Fairfield, but I do want to work on it again, and I do eventually want to finish the Fairfield. So I have not abandoned the Fairfield. It's still sitting here right next to me, glaring at me. Let's see. This Halloween series has the shrimp with the hand. A Halloween series for, is it the mini? I can't think of the word. I borrowed your idea of using a wooden fan for a spiral staircase. So glad you showed how to do it. I had no idea how to make a mini spiral staircase. They're really fun. But they are challenging for sure. What song did they sing at your wedding? Also, weren't you an orc dork? No, I was a band dork. I played the bassoon for most of my high school years and then a bit into college. I don't play it anymore because I can't afford a bassoon. It's like, would you like to have a car or a bassoon? That's your choice. And maybe even 2 cars or a bassoon. I haven't checked bassoon prices recently. I know cars are expensive. But it's the song, That's All. I can only give you something, something, something. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's all. That's all. That song. I used to know all the words. It's been a while. Let's see. I worry about it too with my dollhouse, but not even real homes are perfect, so I have to keep telling myself that. Yes. That is a good point. So we'll have to all encourage each other to keep going on our projects. Hi, Marcia. Yes, Miniverse. So Miniverse has the shrimp hands this October. That's cool. This is very cool. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to see, which isn't working out very well. Okay, kind of messed up on this lip, but that is okay. We almost have one lip painting done. I bought a couple fans to make a spiral staircase just like yours. They're great to keep, even if you're not doing a spiral staircase. They're great for like little details on things because often they're very ornate. So whenever I see wooden fans at a good price, I definitely pick them up. Get a few. Okay, this one, his lipstick is done. Next, Let's see. Yay, yes, chemo is over. That is so awesome. I like when Ava sings to us. Doesn't happen that often. Maybe a little more than I think. You played the bassoon too? How fun. I would love to watch you make things for the Addams Family dollhouse. I think I would enjoy it. Like, it's like, why start a whole new project when I can just continue to improve on one that I really love and like make things even, you know, more detailed, add more stuff on. I mean, the Addams Family really lends itself to that because their house is always shown as like just stuff everywhere. So why not, you know, make more details, make more items, make more references to the movies or the TV show or even Charles Addams' original cartoons. So I'm excited to do that. But Beetlejuice comes first. Beetlejuice has a deadline. No pun intended. Mini Madness has a video out using the fans. Oh, that's good. Like different, like bunch of different ways to use a fan. That'd be cool. Bassoon is the wind equivalent to a cello. Yeah, that is very true. Let's see. A bassoon 6,500 and up. I would have thought it was more than that. I think when I was looking, it was like $30,000, like for a decent one. But maybe bassoon sales have gone down. I don't know. That's how much a car cost when I was looking at buying a bassoon. They don't cost that anymore. Okay, let's get this painted. I'm going to try to super focus on the lips. I think it would be cool if we got one, at least, what time is it? In the next 30 minutes, if I can get one head kind of painted so we can get an idea of what they're going to look like. Painted. That's what I'm going to try and do. Because I do have to stop the stream in about 30 minutes. So we'll see how far we can get. I'll focus on getting one of these done. But now I'm like, okay, don't rush it, don't rush. Because then you'll have to redo it, Ara. Don't rush. Just take your time. I do get like in that mindset where I so badly want to see what it's gonna look like that I want everything to have its color now. I want everything to be done now because I want to see what it looks like, that I tend to rush things. So, okay. Don't rush. Take your time. You're almost done. Nope. Okay. This is my second to last one with the lips. I have one more. I got to finish up the other side. Oh, I didn't do the bottom of this lip. There we go. How many sandworms? Right now, we're doing 3, and then we'll see how many fit in the space once I get like the rocks and everything in there. Do you already have an idea of what you'll move on to when the Beetlejuice project is done? I do want to do another cardboard house series. And if I'm not able to start that before Beetlejuice is done, that'll be something I'll be starting right afterwards. But I'm going to take my original cardboard house and like build onto it. So it won't be really a start from scratch type of thing. And then I want to do a bunch of room boxes. I need to do the Munsters because I have all the Munsters characters. And I didn't want to do the Munsters right after the Addams Family because they have some similar aesthetics, and I wanted to really challenge myself, and Beetlejuice is so different from the Addams Family. Like, it's got the same kind of fun, spooky vibes, but the items that I'm actually making, like the house, the furniture, everything is so different. Where I could just throw some cobwebs and dust over the Addams Family furniture. Delia's stuff is not like that. So, anyway, I have enjoyed the challenge, but I do feel like I love doing the more of the Addams Family aesthetic than the very modern, sleek aesthetic. Even though I have to credit Beetlejuice for teaching me a lot as a miniaturist. So I'm very glad I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I created a bunch of stuff that I know I would not have been able to create when I started this journey. So I feel like I have learned a lot and grown with skills and materials and learning a bunch of stuff. So anyway, okay, let me make sure that's done. Will you do a wash over the worms once they're painted? Possibly. I don't know. I'll have to kind of see, because this worm, I didn't do a wash over it. It's very stark black and white, red, yellow. So I'm not sure yet. Painting is a serious trust the process sort of thing. Yes, it is. Could you use the smaller painted worms in this room as well? It's funny how fast the room is filling up. So I did think if the room was deeper, I think I would use some of the smaller worms at the back. I just don't think it's deep enough to really make it look like they're like pushed back. So anyway, I want to make a borrower's house in some hidden spot in my apartment and show it to my nieces. That'd be awesome. Is there anyone else in the chat that's made any horror related things? I don't think he's posting anymore, but Abandoned Miniatures did a few videos over the Saw scene. So I don't know if you've seen Abandoned Miniatures videos. He hasn't posted one in a while, last I checked, but very good channel for kind of horror type stuff. Yay, you made it to the live. Welcome. Were you ever a goth girl? Never fully goth. I did enjoy painting my fingernails black, and I did get in trouble a lot for not smiling at the camera. I would practice not smiling because I wanted to be like Wednesday. My mom still literally has those photos that because back then you had to pay for film, and she didn't know till she got the film back from the photo place showing that I did not smile in the photos. But I was never fully goth, but I did enjoy the goth aesthetic and wished I could have done more of that, but I didn't. I didn't feel like I could pull it off. Welcome, everyone. I miss Abandoned Miniatures too. Let's see. Yeah, Will and Row Arts is working on... No, Will and Row Arts already finished a Baba Yaga hut. And then I think there's someone else who, on my work table Wednesday, that showed they were starting one. So. Okay. Do we want to work on you? Are you dry? I think I'm going to try and work on this one and see how much detail I can get done. Just need a few more spots on the lips because we only did one coat. Although it's covering really, really well. So I don't feel like it needs 2 full coats. Okay, I think the next step would be the teeth, maybe? What about steampunk? I love the aesthetic of steampunk. So I wouldn't be opposed to doing something steampunk in the future. If someone doesn't use social media, is there another way to contact you with questions? Yes, I have an email. You can find it on the website. I try not to say it too much because then bots like pick it up. But you can do my channel name at gmail.com. Just all one word, my channel name at gmail.com. Lovely to join you. I'm staying with my gran at the moment, so off to be sociable. It's good to be sociable with your grandparents. One of my school photos, I was about 9, I looked like Wednesday because my hair was in 2 plaits and I wasn't good at fake smiling. That's awesome. I would have loved it. I would have been like, this is my favorite school photo. Okay, I think we're going to work on the teeth. And in my original, I have the teeth on the inner head all white. So I'm just going to quickly paint those white. And then the teeth on the outer head are black and white striped, which is going to be kind of difficult. Yeah, the captain's quarters does have a steampunk vibe. That's very true. I will get to see the captain's quarters in October. The weekend of October 18th, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to the museum and I'm going to be teaching a class at the museum. So if you're near Tucson, Arizona, I will be out there in October. I'll be teaching a class on warbler, how to make some things from warbler. So I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping to be able to make something new to put in the captain's quarters, but I don't know what yet. So if you have any ideas of what I should make to add into the captain's quarters, because I did that for the Addams family. I made Kitty, their pet lion. And I was thinking that'd be fun to add something to go back. I'll definitely move around the captain and Bareth and all the characters, all the robots. I'll kind of move them around the ship so they can have a different view of what's going on. I'm working on 2 horror doll houses, so may film my first few videos making them. Awesome. Are you going to make a channel, or do you have a channel? I missed that part. If you said that. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. I do sing a lot, don't I? Interesting. I'd love to attend one of your courses, but I'm in the UK. I wish I could come to the UK. That would be so fun to go to the Kensington Dollhouse. Do they do classes at the Kensington Dollhouse Festival? I imagine so. I would think so. Okay, so the inner head has white teeth. I'm going to do a coat of white paint. I feel like a little mini dentist. Let's put the fluoride on your teeth. Don't eat or drink for the next 30 minutes. Don't chew any gum. I'm taking your class in Texas. I can't wait. Oh, good. Are you taking the drafting class? I'll see you soon. With the Society of American Miniaturists, there's an event coming up in September, and I'm teaching a class in Killeen, Texas. Have you ever considered competing in the Best in Miniature show? I've actually been asked, and I think I was interviewed for the first season, but I was not selected. And now that I'm 41, I keep thinking, I'm like, I think that would literally just wear me completely out. I don't know. The time crunch and the stress and everything that comes with it, I don't know if I'd survive, honestly. You've been to did they have classes at the Kensington one? The worms need names. I have a few channels, but one is for my son's creations. The other is just of my tarantula. I'll be adding some crafting ones as soon as I'm brave enough. Awesome. Long time no speak. Hi, Loston. Nice to catch up on a live stream. Yeah, I have not done a live stream since a public live stream since last October. And as you can tell, I'm starting to lose my voice. So we'll probably be wrapping up in the next 15 minutes. So I need to take another drink of water. $41, just a baby. Maybe an albatross to the captain's quarters as a nod to the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I'll have to look that up. You're my age, plus a year, never realized we were so close in age. I was a draftsman once upon a time. I worked in the architecture field for 4 years, drafting plans, and it really has helped me, I think, in coming up with designs for miniature furniture and like miniature houses and rooms. So I'm teaching a how to draft miniature furniture class in Colleen, and the class is full. It filled up on the first day, which I was so shocked. First or second day, I can't remember, because I wasn't sure anybody was going to want to take it. And I even talked to someone and I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to want to take this class, because you don't get to like make anything. You just leave with like a new skill, which is good. But people were excited about it. So, but I know a lot of the classes in the past have been like, here, you get to make this thing and you get to leave with this thing. And I felt like there wasn't a thing. It was a new skill, which people find value in, but I just didn't know how it would go. So thank you, Amber Marie. Thank you for the super chat. But anyway, so I'm so glad that people were excited about the class, because I do like drafting and the idea behind drafting and kind of putting your 3D thoughts into 2D so that you can, carry out the plans. So, did the class fill up with full-sized or miniature people? I guess I'll know when I show up. I would love to go to a miniature fair of some kind. They really don't have them in Scotland. You can start one. That would be really fun to go to Scotland too. Do a live stream class? I have thought about that too. I don't really know how they work, or if I'd have to go through a company. I don't really know. What movies are you looking forward to seeing this year? My mom and I are looking forward to Zootopia 2 and Wicked Part 2. I'm definitely looking forward to Wicked Part 2. Very excited to see that. With my daughter. I saw Part 1 with my daughter and some friends. So we're going to do that when Part 2 comes out. Very excited for that. I thought Part 1 was amazing. I did think it would be fun to make Glinda's dorm room. Thank you, Pamela, for the super chat. I appreciate it. But again, that would be very challenging. So many pretty pink things in that room. I don't have a lot of pink paint. I could buy some pink paint. Wouldn't be a problem, but it looks like a fun room to create. I have a sandworm candlestick. That's fun. That would be something I would have a hard time burning. I would be so nervous to burn it, and then it would be gone. But again, it's like these paints. It's like use it or lose it. But I guess a candle can stick around longer than paint. I don't know. So, okay. All right, we're now back to having white teeth, and these are some ferocious teeth. Now I'm going to try and paint just a black stripe in the center. That's my goal here. So I need some black paint. Imagine your class would be great because with your YouTube experience, you walk through the steps of things very clearly. Great communication helps people more easily and naturally. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I enjoy teaching. And I think my years as a elementary art teacher really helped me understand the process of getting an idea across, like a brand new idea to someone who maybe has never heard it before. Because, you know, when I was teaching in elementary art, a lot of those I was teaching brand new concepts to kids who just never heard those concepts before. So I think that's helped me understand just the process of laying out something as if you've just never heard it before, going from beginning to now you know it, and now you know it like really well, and you can do it too. So Josie from Miniatures with Josie talks about a class in Denmark for a week with international famous miniaturists. It sounds amazing. Oh my gosh, that sounds really amazing. Very cool. I always say I'm 12 in my mind, 103 in my body, and 56 actual years, so it averages out. Aw, thank you. Scary teeth are fun unless you're on the menu. Okay, we're gonna try this out. I don't know if this brush is thin enough to make these lines. Let's zoom in even more. This will be our grand finale because I gotta sign off soon. These teeth will be our grand finale. And then you'll still get to see, hopefully it'll be a surprise what they look like at the end once I post the video, because we didn't get them all the way done. Okay. Not a huge fan of that tooth. I think my paint's a little too watery. Let me shake it up a little bit more. It's not solid enough. See. Have you thought about including the little ghost house in Beetlejuice merchandising movies glass in the project? Thought about including the little ghost house in the Beetlejuice. I'll have to look that up because I'm not quite sure which house you're talking about. I've only seen the second Beetlejuice movie 2 times now, so there's still parts I'm not completely familiar with. Your videos kept me company on my journey into miniatures. Aw, thank you. I'm glad. Bentley House Minis is the soundtrack for my time in my studio. Alright, so let's try that again. It was a little too runny. Off screen, wrong, Ara, wrong. You're off screen. Almost off screen again. Try one more time. So, kind of like that. What do you think? And then on these other ones, I did like the tip of it as well. And I think the reason I did that is so it can kind of stick out from the color of the inner head. And it also gives me like a couple stripes. You're my husband's favorite YouTuber that I watch because you're very, very thorough with your explanations. Aw. see. I would use an acrylic marker. I don't know. I think I do have an acrylic marker, but this seems to be working okay for now. Famous last words. I haven't gotten an ad since you turned them off. Okay. I'll turn them back on once the video processes, probably a little bit later tonight. So if you're still watching it, hopefully you won't have any ads, even if we end it in a couple minutes and you're like a little behind. But then I'll turn it back on after it processes, and then I can control where the ads go instead of one every 5 seconds. Thank you, the paper wheel. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Most marker tips are too big. I'm not sure if the ones I have would be or not, but the paintbrush seems to be working so far. I don't know if I'm too worried about painting the teeth on the inside. We'll see. Well, at least we'll do this row of teeth, and then I'll probably end the stream so you can at least see what the teeth will probably look like by the time I'm done. My favorite teachers were my art teachers. It always makes me so sad when I hear, like, one of my best friends' kids, their art teacher is mean. And I'm like, art's supposed to be like your, and I know this is, and I know sometimes strict can be like taken for mean, but like I know for a fact this kid isn't getting in trouble. And the teacher's just mean. And I'm like, art is supposed to be like an escape and like a place that you, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Like, I am so joyful when I get to do some art. And I don't understand that joy wouldn't be with another person, but I don't know. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what's going on. Okay. So there's my lower teeth. Oop, my phone's going off. We'll finish this last tooth. There we go. Oh, Loston, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I almost missed it. Oh no, the chat's going fast. I just need a bigger computer. I need a bigger computer screen. So that's how far we got in this live stream. Thank you for keeping me company as I got started on getting these sandworms painted, because honestly I was a little like, I think they're going to be awesome. They're an awesome design, but just the detail work of painting them, I was very much dreading it. So thank you for keeping me company. Thank you, Rachel, for being a mod in the chat and making sure I see the questions. And if I did miss any questions, once this live goes up on my channel, feel free to come back and leave a question in the comments and I will make sure to answer it. So my first art teacher was nice. It told me I had no talent. Oh my goodness. That's awful. My daughter's art teacher literally bullied her out of the class. See, mean art teacher, never imagined such a thing. Awful. Art teachers should be safe space. That's what I think. But that's just me. So, all right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, thank you for hanging out with me while I worked on these little worms that were designed and made for me by Elise. Thank you again, Elise. You definitely saved the day, saved the Beetlegust month. Thank you again for your help. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Hopefully, since we got such a great start, hopefully it won't be so long before another video comes out. So I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and I'm going to say my awkward goodbye because I never know how to say goodbye correctly, and I can never find the button. Hold on. Awkward goodbye, everybody. No, wait, that's not the button. Okay. All right, everyone have a great day. Bye. Hold on. Awkward goodbye. There we go.